Also happening on Capitol Hill, President-elect Trump's cabinet nominees continue to lock down support for their Senate confirmations. Kash Patel, Trump's pick to lead the FBI, is getting a warmer welcome now from Senate Republicans ahead of his potential confirmation. But Patel's plans for the agency are sparking concern over the FBI's independence and the possibility for retribution against political rivals of the president-elect. Joining us now is John Pistole, former U.S. Deputy Director of the FBI, and he's also the former administrator of the TSA. We appreciate you being with us tonight. Patel's background is a little bit unorthodox, but he's a former prosecutor and former national security official, so he's sort of in the normal range. But the doubts that some Senate Republicans have about him is whether he'd be independent as FBI director. I gather that's a question that's something very important inside the agency as well.
Yes, it is, because the independence of the FBI is one of the hallmarks of the Federal Bureau of Investigation, that it is an equal opportunity investigator, if you will, whether it's political corruption, Republicans and Democrats, independents, it doesn't matter. You have to follow one of the 300+ federal laws that Congress has passed to investigate a federal crime. So it's just not because somebody happens to have a different political view or you don't like them. And the agents and all those who contribute to an FBI investigation don't have the presidential immunity that the president-elect has. And so there is going to be some reluctance, recalcitrance, because they would need to know that they are doing something, that there's probable cause to, for example, go to a federal district court judge to get a search warrant or whatever it may be. So yeah, there is some concern, I believe, and I believe rightfully so, having served for almost 27 years as an FBI agent. I know I would never go out and initiate an investigation and get a U.S. Attorney's Office to try to authorize something if there wasn't a legal basis for it. So I think there's some well-founded concern there.
Lots of praise and lots of condemnation, both here in Washington, of Christopher Wray as he prepares to wrap up his tenure. What do you make of his performance overall? What's his legacy?
Well, I think Director Wray has taken a good course over his 7+ years, 7.5 years, of trying to let the Bureau's actions speak for themselves, rather than being out there as a media person always talking about the work that the FBI would do. Simply let the men and women of the FBI do their professional work with integrity and with equal opportunity, as I mentioned, and then let those results speak for themselves. And so whether that is a spying issue or a counterterrorism, where the FBI with the Joint Terrorism Task Forces around the country, the lead agency for trying to protect Americans from terrorist attacks, or whether it's drugs with DEA and others, or whatever it may be, major corruption cases, corporate fraud and different things. I think the American people need to have confidence in the FBI, and I think Chris Wray has done a really good job of not making the FBI the story. Again, letting the investigations speak for themselves. He's visited all 55 field offices 2 times, some of them 3 times during his 7.5 years. He's been engaged with state and local law enforcement officials. He's been involved with intelligence community officials, of course, within the U.S., but also around the world, particularly with the Five Eyes countries that have the most sensitive information that the FBI shares with those through the U.S. intelligence community. So overall, I think he's done a terrific job in very challenging circumstances.
John Pistole, we thank you for your service, and we thank you for your time tonight.
Thank you for watching, and make sure you go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.